Welcome, my sweet friends, to the channel Frugal Money Saver. My name is Emmy, my husband is Paul. We are so thankful you are here with us today. Today we're going to talk about some old-fashioned springtime hints and tips that you all may want to bring back into your modern lives. As Paul and I sat and talked about this video, we came up with some great old-timey ideas to usher in springtime. These ideas will cost you very little, if anything. So the first thing we're going to do is jump right into this video by heading outside, because guess what? Spring has finally arrived here in the Jefferson Valley area of New York. It is absolutely beautiful out. Spring has sprung here. First thing I did was put on an apron and begin my day. I hung my clothes outside for the first time this year. What a wonderful feeling. What I do is take the bottom of my fitted sheets and I always turn them inside out. They just seem to dry so much better this way. The folded ends are not together on the inside, so this just works great. For the flat sheet, I always hang it inside out so it does not fade. And I do the same for the pillowcases, turning them inside out. We really want to encourage you. If you are physically able and you have some room, put up a clothesline outside. Put up a clothesline tree. This is a great way to save some money. Get outside. Your clothes smell amazing when you bring them back in. And if you are afraid of wrinkles, just stick them in the dryer for about 5 minutes after they've dried outside and the wrinkles are gone. Another tip we want to share with you, if you have any kind of birthdays or anniversary or celebrations coming up throughout the warmer months of springtime, think about doing an old-fashioned cake and ice cream party, or possibly an old-fashioned soda fountain party. Now, yes, this picture may seem a little corny and dated, but you tell me you don't know any child or grandchild that wouldn't love a cake like this. These fun, sweet treats would put a smile on anyone's face. Like I mentioned earlier, those old-fashioned soda fountain treats. Oh my goodness, do you remember an egg cream, frosty drinks, and a grape float? I got the recipes and those charming pictures from these two books. The Better Homes and Garden Holiday Cookbook circa 1959 and the Better Homes and Gardens Birthdays and Family Celebrations circa 1963. Keep an eye out for these old-time cookbooks. They have so much information, so much from scratch cooking that we're all trying to get back to. Just a great investment for $1 or $2 if you see them at a flea market or tag sale. And speaking of flea markets and tag sale, the season is now beginning. They will be out in full force. Let me give you some tips on what to do before you head out to those flea markets and garage sales. Number one, set a budget. Remember, don't go with tons of money in your wallet and just buy things that could be impulse buys. Go with a budget. Go with an idea of what you're looking for and how much you want to spend. Some items that Paul and I thought would be a great addition for the springtime are any kind of outdoor old-fashioned games that you can find at these tag sales and flea markets at reduced price. How about badminton, lawn croquet? My brother found a vintage lawn croquet set. We play it every summer. So much fun. And if you're able to, shut those screens off, get outside and have some fun. Keep your eye out for these obscure board games that a lot of times you can find super inexpensively. This one my niece got me because she knows what a Disney fan I am. It looks like it's brand new. So keep your eye out. These are just a great way to pass the time when you can pick them up at a minimal cost. What a great vintage find. This is one of our all-time favorites. I don't know how many of you remember this masterpiece. We have been playing it when our family gathers. This is one of the most fun games. You're basically bidding on pieces of art. This is definitely more of an adult game. Just keep your eyes out though for these wonderful old-fashioned board games. Another tip when it comes to browsing those flea markets and tag sales, think of it as a wonderful day out. You don't have to spend money. You can talk with vendors about the wonderful collectibles they have. You can revisit memories of your own childhood when you look at the games and the books and toys and clothing. It is so much fun. Paul and I will do this quite often. And maybe after we're done, we'll split a serving of curly fries or something like that just to top the day off. But these don't have to be high-priced events to have a good time. Another great old-fashioned idea is, what about a picnic? A picnic? When was the last time anyone went to a park and actually had a picnic? Made some food, sat down, ate, and just had a wonderful time. When Paul and I first started dating, I still have the blanket that Paul's grandmother gave to us 25 years ago. Handed us this blue plaid blanket, and she said to us, "This is for when you go on picnics." Oh my goodness, how precious, because that's what they did when they were younger. A date was a picnic. So if you're physically able to, a picnic is a wonderful idea. Another great idea, instead of a 5-day or a 7-10-day vacation, how about some great old-fashioned day trips to a local amusement park, maybe, to a pick your own field where they sell vegetables or flowers or fruits. What a fun day. It's economical. You're bringing home what you're gathering. Just wonderful. And along those notes, how about starting a container garden? I will link videos down below in our description box of all the container videos we have. And yes, in another month, we're going to be starting all over again, and we will share that with you as well. We're going to turn the camera around for a minute and just show you what Paul did last fall and what's going on with that project he started. So let's turn the camera around and get outside again.
Last summer, we noticed we had a wild rose bush growing along our property line near the road and a rock wall. It was just all overgrown, and it had beautiful pink flowers. So I took a cutting of that, just a small branch. I heard if you took a cutting of a rose bush and put it into a potato and then buried it, it would grow. So I took a small chunk of potato, put a little hole in it, and stuck this plant in the potato and then buried it in our organic soil that we make in our compost heap. Notice the bucket is from the deluxe strawberry filling. This is a food safe container we got for free at the grocery store just by asking. Now look at this. Over the winter, it was in my shed, and just look at it growing. It is beautiful. I can't wait. So we're just going to let this get a little more mature and then find a nice place to plant it. But again, it just took time. It was all free, including the bucket.
Now that springtime is here and we're probably out more, going places more, I want you to just keep this in mind. When you get the urge to go to a store and shop or go online and shop, I want you to stop yourself and think back for a minute. When Paul and I were young, the only way we could shop was to go to a physical store. And to go to a store back in the day was a big deal. I remember as a young girl, if we were to go to Caldor's on a Friday night, or possibly Woolworths or Grant's on a Saturday afternoon, it was a big deal. Everybody piled into the car and we went. Mom and Dad always had a purpose for going too. We didn't just go to browse. Mom or Dad had to pick something up, but it was such an outing that we all went. So remember that when it comes to shopping throughout the spring and summer. If you can avoid getting on electronics and going into stores and shopping just because, you will save yourself a ton of money. Another great old-fashioned money-saving tip that I don't know if a lot of people realize is your local butcher at your supermarket can do a lot for you for free. I spoke with the manager of our local supermarket's butcher department, and he was so accommodating and helpful. And I asked him, what can a customer come up to you and ask for that you will do for free? And he said pretty much anything. You can pick a roast if you want, and they will grind it for you. A whole chicken, I thought this was great. When it is on sale, they will take it and cut it up for you. They will take a roast and cut it into steaks for you. If you're looking for a specific size, let's say roast or package of meat, they will be happy to accommodate the size you need. If you have a roast that has a bone in it, they will remove the bone and put the bone back on and tie it up for you. If you're looking for something like soup bones, they would be happy to get them, things like suet. Oh my goodness, he said pretty much if you ask, and always remember to ask nicely, they're very accommodating. Now, I'm not sure if every supermarket does this, but it can't hurt to ask. Make sure you utilize what's out there for free in your local grocery store as well. Remember, your time is an absolute gift. And yes, there's always going to be dishes to wash. And yes, there's always going to be beds to be made and floors to be swept. And those things are very important, and we definitely need to keep up with them. But if we can not let those things control us and take some downtime this spring, we will recharge and re-energize ourselves after a long winter. Sit on the porch at night and watch the fireflies. When was the last time you've done that? Paul and I do that so often. They have got to be one of the most majestic, magical little insects ever. Oh my goodness, they put on a light show for you every evening. Get out and catch one of their performances for free. Go to a dollar store or even Walmart and see if you can find an old-fashioned kite. Go fly a kite. How much fun is that? These are all ideas and ways that we have put aside and have picked up electronic devices instead. So let's get back to basics for the spring. Think about a burger on the grill, fresh watermelon, corn on the cob, simple pleasures, perfect Saturday night entertainment. It is these simple pleasures in life, these old-timey ways that we have lost track of and we need to embrace and bring back to our everyday lives. Yes, like we always say, the electronics have a place and they are amazing, but we also need to bring back and embrace some of the older ways just to slow down our time a little bit. Because like I said earlier, time is a gift. Time is something we have, and what we do with it is so very important. It's the simple pleasures that we are going to remember the most, that our kids are going to remember, our grandchildren are going to remember. So important that we share that aspect of our lives with the younger generation as well. It is so important. What we're going to do now is get into the kitchen, because I don't want you to forget, even though the weather's getting warmer, it's still never too warm to make a one-pot meal. We're going to take some leftovers, bits and pieces of this and that, and some food that we need to use up, and make a delicious one-pot meal that costs us pennies, really. So let's turn the camera around and get into the kitchen. I just cleaned out the refrigerator. I try to do that at least once a week. Make sure we're using up what we have. And we got a bunch of little bits and pieces here, and we're going to create a delicious soup. I've got 3 tomatoes that are actually getting soft. So I want to use these up. I don't want to waste them. I've got 3 carrots. I've got celery. Well, as you can see, a little bendy, but that's fine because I have 4 stalks here and they are going to add so much flavor to our soup. I've got a clove of garlic, cooked Italian sausage meat that will go into our soup as well. Don't be afraid to mix flavors. We have got a half of onion. In the freezer, I found a half a bag of mixed vegetables we can use up. Oh, and we got some chicken broth. And again, don't be afraid to combine beef and chicken or pork and chicken. All flavors go great together. And then we're also going to use up this little bit of orzo. That piece of paper in there is there on purpose. It's the directions to cook the orzo. First thing I'm going to do is wash and chop up all my vegetables. I'm going to put the frozen vegetables into the refrigerator now. I'm not going to add those probably till the last half an hour because I don't want them to become mush and cook down. So we're going to put these in the refrigerator just to defrost a little bit. I don't want all the seeds from the tomatoes in our soup. So what I do is after we clean them, I just get all that wonderful juice. Can you see that all coming out? You don't want to waste that. Look at that. So the seeds stay behind, but you get all that wonderful flavor. This is what it means when you say you're cooking from scratch, right? We washed, cut up the vegetables, put them in. We've got the meat in. I am warming the broth on the stove just so it melts. I'm going to add some Italian herb seasoning and a little bit of some peppercorns. Give it some great peppery flavor. At this point, you can add salt as well. I forgot to show you, we just filled it halfway through with water. You can use broth. I did use a little broth like I showed you, but this is just going to be so flavorful. We're using bits and pieces of what we have. I'm going to cover it, put it on high, and I'm going to let it cook for at least several hours to get all those flavors combined and get those vegetables tender. This has been cooking about 5 hours on high. I just added the frozen vegetables to it. I have a half a cup of orzo here, and I'm going to add it right to here. Why dirty up another pan, right? Just make sure if you let it cook this long, you have enough liquid in it, but you all know that, I'm sure. Now I'm going to cover it again. It's still on high. We're going to let that orzo cook probably for about 30 minutes. This cooked for just about 30 minutes more. Look at this. The orzo cooked perfectly. If you didn't want to add the orzo directly to this, you could have boiled it separately, but we just added it right to it. Oh, this looks so good. When you think of the humble ingredients we started with, and this would feed, I don't know how many people. We're going to eat this tonight, and boy, do we have leftovers for a couple of days at least. I love when you just take odds and ends and create something so delicious. Cooking is done for the next 2 days at least. What a delicious, yummy soup. Pair it with some bread, a green salad, crackers. Keep it simple. So delicious. Now we're going to go back in time just a little bit to 9 o'clock this Friday morning, and we're going to pick a winner for the Fix It and Forget It Cookbook Journal. So let's get into the other room. We are ready to pick our winner for the journal. I just copied the video link and I'm going to paste it right there. We're going to include replies to comments. We're going to filter duplicate users. Oh my goodness, look what they did. Filter comments by words or hashtag is now premium. I'd have to pay for that. Okay, so now we know I am not paying premium, but what we will do is the comments will be included. So if the winner has the words cooking journal in their comment, then they will win. If not, we'll just pick another. I don't want to pay extra. That's not right. Okay, 8 plus 3 equals 11. We're going to get our comments. We're getting our YouTube comments. Okay, let's go over here. Start. Julie Schaefer. The cooking journal is a very cute idea and a great way to get organized. Yay, Julie! Congratulations! It says cooking journal, so she wanted to enter. Congratulations, Julie!
Yay!
Woo!
Congratulations!
Yay! Congratulations to our winner! Woo! Please send your full name and mailing address to frugalmoneysaver@gmail.com and we will get this wonderful book right out to you. Thank you for everyone who joined in. This is a fun book. Our question of the day: what springtime, summertime, old-fashioned, frugal activity do you want to accomplish this spring or summer? Think about it, be creative, then share it with us down below, please. We love to read your comments, we answer your comments, and I know our subscribers love to read your comments as well. So thank you all for spending this time with us. Please give this a big thumbs up if you would be so kind. Subscribe if you haven't. Hit that notification bell so you're alerted every time we do a video. We ask you to be well. We ask you to stay safe. And above all, we wish you blessings. Until our next video, may God greatly bless you.